Jaedong team. Evil Geniuses one game away from elimination from the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai. It is Jaedong.
Lee Jaedong, one of the finest, if not the best Brood War Zerg player to touch the game, and he's trying to make that happen here, but well, he needs to go into the round of 8, and he is playing up against a former 2-time GSL champion in the likes of SK Gaming's MC.
That's right.
Obviously not having the best of results for quite a long time. I mean, if we just look at MC as an individual who used to be that 2-time GSL champion, the last time he really made a big splash in a tournament, I mean, depends on what we call big splash. He got 4th at MLG at the start of the HOTS launch. Before that, let's say a final, about a year ago, 12 months ago, and for the Obama toss, you know, that's not, you know, it's not what I expected.
No, not really. So, I always love, like, it's really heartwarming for me to see a player that's fallen out of form pick himself back up again and really crush face. So I'd actually be very excited for MC to take out a name as big as Jaedong to restart his comeback trail. I
mean, both players are major names. You know, they're big names. If you know StarCraft or even don't know StarCraft, and you say, all right, do you know MC? Have you ever heard of the Obama toss?
Yep.
You're like, yeah, actually, yeah.
In StarCraft 2, yes. In Brood War, not so much, but he's made a name for himself, and he completely deserves the fame and respect that he has.
Did you know, you know, we talk about MC's nicknames, Obama Toss,
yep,
President, Protoss, whatever his nicknames are.
Yep.
Do you know what his nickname was in Brood War?
It was not very nice.
Suicide Toss.
Yeah.
Because
he had like a 2-9 or something.
He had a terrible win rate, but every time he'd play, his beginning ceremony would be the slit throat with his hands.
Ah, yeah.
You know, the same thing that he'd done to an Idra, you know, back then.
That's right.
And he lost every game, so they called him the Suicide Toss because he did that and just lost.
Yeah, that's right.
But Jaedong, I mean, if you put these two players against each other in Brood War, man, Jaedong, oh my gosh.
I do believe that if this was StarCraft 1 instead of StarCraft 2, there would be a severe backhand in the shape of Jaedong right across MC's cheek.
Yeah, a backhand or something else.
Or something else, that's right. a stamp of some description.
Yeah, you take what you want with the name Jaedong, right?
Yeah, the Dong. They call him that for a reason, guys. And girls.
So we do have this map here on Neoplanet S, game number 2. It is a nice map. It is a nice map.
I like the multiple attack paths,
yeah,
and the golds in the middle always make for some pretty crazy and entertaining games. And crazy and entertaining is what I'm all about.
It's also very stressful for the player that's defending, because he moves out with his army one side and then he gets attacked from the other. He doesn't really know which way the opponent's coming. So it is very important on a map like this, as you see in the middle of the map, the inner circle, the inner center. You need observers, you need overlords, you need lings, you need something to spot always.
Because that's all high ground around the middle there. You can hide things up there. It's like, you know, something you need to be careful of. And Jaedong, you know, can hide overlords and stuff like that up there, which MC won't be able to see, obviously. But, yeah. In the meantime, bit of a lull in the action. This is still PvZ, regardless of the expansion. It is quite featureless in the early game, unless there is cheese or craziness. Jaedong just having a look, keeping an eye on this wall. It's a very Wings of Liberty wall. It's actually, I was mentioning to Todd that when I played Protoss on this map, I found it hard to wall in that choke between the natural and the outside world of Neoplanet S.
It is difficult. You have to do it. You have to place your pylons precisely. There's no, all right, I'm going to put the pylon here and hopefully this makes a wall. Yeah. Because it won't. Or it makes a full wall. Yeah. So you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, you don't want a full wall. But
neither big players have made any commitments to anything, apart from MC, who has got +1.
Yeah.
Jaedong got his gases down at 6 minutes, which is okay. It is a little bit late. It could have been a little bit early. 5:45 is comfortable. 6 minutes means later speed by what? 15 seconds? Seconds mean everything in a game like StarCraft. But with MC, +1 attack. What is he doing? He's got no gases. Is it a third or is it extra gateways?
I think we might be seeing it after this Overlord goes away, Apollo. I feel like he's going to try something pretty cheeky here.
Well, he's just throwing down the Nexus on his third. He had a pylon up, didn't he?
The pylon, a good indicator that he probably should be taking that Nexus.
It also could be a fake, though, so you can't just look at it nice and easy.
And MC is that guy that used to fake stuff. He'd make the Nexus and then cancel it, and then all of a sudden 7-gate all-in.
That guy was the pain for many a Zerg player back in the day, and not just if you played him, he influenced a lot of style.
He did, and that came on the ladder as well, which made me sad as a Zerg player at the time.
Made a lot of people sad, man. But layers first, before Zergling speed here, so it is a quite fast layer. Traditionally, Jaedong, or traditionally Zerg, do like to throw down the Hydralisk Den straight away from this fast layer.
Yep.
Hydra is just the best all-round unit, good versus gateway units, good versus Immortals and whatnot, great versus Stargate units. Does he have a Swarm Host plan though?
Possibly. He is getting +1 ranged attack, which could be good for Swarm Host and for the Hydras, so it could lead into either. They both complement each other.
We'll see now as the lair does finish up. It's like now that he throws down the spy, I'm like, oh god damn it, Jaedong. But it should be the Hydra Den or the Infestation Pit, so there's the Hydra Den. But at this point, a very fast third from MC. He's wrapping it around with gateways, and we know MC, man, if it's not Blink, it's a mass gateway attack.
Yeah.
And his gateway account is rising.
It is. He just made 5 gateways while we were looking at that Hydra Den.
I mean, 3 there, you've got a couple more in the main base, 4 there, 7 in total, and then the 8th on the natural.
Yeah.
+1 attack is done, and there's no robotics facility, Twilight Council, any longevity in his game. It's just very stagnant at this point. It's just on gateway units.
Yeah, he's going to go straight up for a huge gateway attack. It's pretty obvious at this point. Infestation Pit going down for Jaedong, which is very helpful against gateway units. But, you know, if he has to go for Swarm Hosts, will he have them out in time? I feel like probably not.
Swarm Host is great. You know, he's got no observers, so it is really good. But that means he has to save and bank gas, which means the upgrade for the Enduring Locust, that means building the Locust, the Swarm Host, themselves. So I think the best possible way for Jaedong to deal with this attack is to just keep on building Hydras. Anything other than that is a commitment of resources, which he may not see the benefit from.
Look at all those sentries, man. MC he's already got 9 sentries in his army, and he's moving across with them now.
Jaedong's seen the gateways, though. He's seen it all. So he shouldn't invest in anything else other than units. He's seen it all.
And
so
he is.
He's 20 supply in the lead, but can he defend against the inevitable? He knows what's coming.
He just made 9 roaches, a few Hydras, +1, just about to finish for Jaedong. I'd like to see some static defense from him as well. I don't see any just yet, but just going to have to rely on units here.
All right, let's see if Jaedong's going to be able to control this well. Roaches at the front, Hydras at the back. How good are the force fields going to be? Time warps also pretty important.
He's going to have about 1 million force fields, maybe 1,010,000.
I'd love that amount.
That's so many force fields, oh my god.
Here we go. It's about to begin. Time warp 1, time warp 2. Force fields coming down. Can he do it?
No Zealots at the front. They're actually a bit useless at the moment. The Hydras are doing good damage from the top. And Jaedong coming from the bottom as the force fields start to dissipate. And the sentry's actually getting under siege as well. He's losing those precious force fields.
Oh, Big Daddy Dong's here.
Big
Daddy Dong is here, and he's pushing this one back. MC now forced to retreat off creep, losing his pylons, losing a lot.
Yeah.
And if you look at what MC had to sacrifice to push out this with this attack, no Colossus, no Stargate units, no Phoenixes to pick up the Hydras anymore. He has Blink on the way, but now Jaedong with +2 attack, the Infestation Pit coming down again, a little bit weird, a little bit of a mistake, double Infestation Pit, but you know, that's just like, all right, now it's time to tech up, now it's time to do this, now it's time to do that, which is the mentality you get in as a player, but he does cancel it, does realize, smart player.
Yeah. And there's the Swarm Host play again. A unit that can be very, very frustrating for Protoss and you know, or just mainly Protoss to deal with, as it's, I guess, more prevalent in ZvP than any other matchup. I have seen it in ZvT, but not so much, and I've seen it in ZvZ as well, and I gotta say, you know, as legitimate as it can be, Swarm Host versus Swarm Host is kind of frustrating.
Yeah. And then with it's Swarm Host versus Swarm Host and Zerg versus Zerg with Roach Hydra is a game of tug of war.
Yeah.
It's like if one guy slips and he loses his footing, the other guy has an edge, but then all of a sudden he gets back up and pulls it back. It really does depend. Like, if you manage to kill a couple of Roaches or Hydras, that's the equivalent of some guy breaking on your tug of war team, because once that momentum starts to swing, oh boy, does it swing in Roach Hydra Swarm Host play.
That's right. Speaking of Roaches, we got these Zealots being swatted away from Jaedong. Jaedong actually doing a great job at swatting away MC this game so far. MC just looking for any hidden hatcheries. This is another good map for hidden hatcheries, or hidden bases.
Yeah, in the corners.
Right.
But that pylon going to be used for reinforcements. Does have a Dark Shrine on the way. That's MC's kind of way back into this game if he's able to pick up the full hatchery or something along those lines.
Interesting. Dark Shrine just finishing now for MC. Didn't get that warp in, but he's starting a warp prison. He's not done with the DTs. He's going to have to make them work. and Aspire on the way for Jaedong on the other side of the fence.
Well, Jaedong definitely looking to tie this game up at this point. Is in quite a considerable lead.
Yeah, definitely.
He has the Hive on the way. He's got a lot of Swarm hosts. As long as he doesn't mess up with them. Does have good creep spread to be able to move his Swarm host back and forth quite easily. Some Zealots are breaking away from the main pack, the main army.
I like this Swarm host. You bury, make a bunch of locusts, then unburrow and use those locusts as a buffer between your force movement. And, you know, these locusts, he didn't expect them to make it very far or do much damage, but they're just a good buffer.
Yeah, no, they're
like
so good, actually. So good.
And there's a nice blink there. He's going to be able to snipe this hatchery most likely, although Jaedong is pulling a lot of his units back from his attack to try and deal with it. Some static defense here, but that is a lot of Zealots from MC.
Yeah, this third's not, you know, gonna... Well, this fourth is down. The third's in a bit of pressure in that north situation there. It's a lot of Zealots, and 2 bases going down. Well, MC didn't lose a base here, which is very questionable. He kept all his probes alive.
Yeah.
Jaedong coming back to defend without actually killing anything. And now units in the main base.
Oh.
Is Jaedong gonna lose his lead?
He is in. He was in such a good spot, man. But yeah, it's. He's lost that hatchery. The main is under siege still. He is on 2 base, and that's devastating when your Protoss is actually heading up to 4.
And now Jaedong, I mean not Jaedong, sorry, MC just needs to focus on one thing, and that's killing the army. If he kills the army of Jaedong, Jaedong does not have what it takes to rebuild. Not by being down by a couple of hatches at this point, or not least until he gets them back up and running.
That's
but
right.
Does MC have an army that can beat this? I don't think he can.
Possibly not. You got some Locusts coming in, wailing on the production of MC, and they're going to go straight for the 3rd Nexus when they're done with that too. MC sending his forces around, trying to get something done here. Jaedong continuing the assault on the 3rd as he's, resuming that attack.
He's resuming that attack, but ideally he'd like the Colossus, which is why he's got 2 robotics facilities coming into play. DTs have been warped in though. We've got, you know, Zealots at the north, DTs on this side.
And hatchery cancelled again, going down. These DTs can actually focus down that other hatchery again, putting Jaedong again on 2 base.
And even
no cancel.
No cancel. He does have 1,600 minerals, but at this point you need every mineral you can get. As MC keeps the pressure up, buying himself time. He's getting Colossus, which is how he can deal with the army of Jaedong.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with Swarm Hosts with just Blink Stalkers and Zealots. It's really just...
That's going to hurt though, as MC's running out of minerals and gas himself. He doesn't have that too much backed up in his main and natural, and especially gas.
Yeah, and this siege of these Swarm Hosts on the 3rd is starting to really break through and do serious damage to MC now.
Yeah, he's going to lose that 3rd Nexus if he's not too careful. His Colossus is starting to come out, but Thermalant's going to take a while. Jaedong may have got his opponent too far down, too far behind to recover, even though MC's having a valiant effort to do so.
Jaedong is up a lot of supply, Apollo. That's 70, around 70 advantage for Jaedong. His army supply is more than double the supply of MC's, and the 3rd Nexus does go down.
Yep, that's a big blow.
That's right, and now MC is in a spot of bother.
He doesn't have the gas income. He doesn't, well, you know, Zealots aren't going to do much. 12 Zealots aren't going to do much at this point, so he needs gas to be able to build to use his minerals to build the Colossus.
Yeah, the Colossus is so important for him right now. If they go down, that is the game.
9 more drones coming in here for Jaedong, trying to get over towards establishing a 3rd base, so he's going to leave some units to make sure he can. But meanwhile, another attack here from Jaedong, suffocating MC's economy. He's preventing him from taking a 3rd. Swarm Host.
Swarm Host flank there. The Locust coming out just at the right time for Jaedong to get some good shots off. These probes!
It's going to hurt, and the base gets cancelled as well. Viper's coming in to deal with the Colossus. So even though MC's trying to build an army to deal with these Swarm Hosts on this right-hand side here, Vipers are going to deal with the Colossus.
Time Warp's going down, making it a little bit hard to start a step for Jaedong, but looks like Jaedong just has too much. He's been playing so well this game, tearing through the forces of MC. A warp in from the top, though, going to flank him and dissipate him for now. But Jaedong is still not in a terrible spot.
Jaedong is not. Look at MC though. He's caught up a lot in supply though, hasn't he? He's caught off a lot of those Roach Hydras.
And killing those hatcheries over and over has been great for him as well.
But still, 80 supply to 39. Jaedong contains MC away from expanding at this point, which is going to try and happen again. Yeah. But with the addition of Vipers.
These Colossus were looking for the Swarm Hosts. And yeah, like you said, the Vipers are on the map now, which is very, very dangerous for MC. Once, well, it will be dangerous when Jaedong has a bit more of a ground army. 16 Roaches, not that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, with the Vipers coming up to full energy, that's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with.
Absolutely.
On full energy, they pretty much have 2 abducts each, 4, which is the full Colossus.
Jaedong's got to be feeling pretty good at this point with his army composition and the fights that he's been having with MC. He's seen what MC has, and yeah, I think he's feeling pretty good.
All right, let's find out though. Does MC's army warrant a place in the round of 8?
We'll have to wait and see. All MC needs to do is get a really good engagement here, take out these Swarm Hosts, and he will be looking at round of 8. But that's it though. Oh, the get over here, the Scorpion maneuver, and 2 Colossus go down for absolutely free.
Yeah, and well, the others are getting chased as well. One gets picked up, and that's going to fall down as well as the second as well. So that's 3 in total, almost a 4.
And there's the 4th going down, nearly down from the Roaches going up near the front.
Yeah, the DTs and Zealots really caught Jaedong off guard there, but more and more units coming in. Jaedong just needs to go back, get more energy on his Vipers, and come in again.
Yeah. MC actually needs to be careful. Those Locusts surprisingly strong.
I mean, MC's trying to get a base up at the bottom here, the 6 o'clock base.
Yeah.
But Jaedong, being the player he is just going to send a couple of units down to that 6 o'clock base, just to make sure that MC doesn't have an easy time getting up another Nexus to be able to mine from, while keeping the pressure on. Whoop.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Oh.
If that only a couple more seconds.
If only.
Oh, no. That's the main army, though.
Oh my god, losing a lot of Swarm Hosts here. The Roaches do arrive just in the nick of time to save a lot of them.
Oh, that was a bit intense there for Jaedong, but he is going to pick up the last couple of Colossus. And with the last couple of Colossus coming down, there is nothing to protect this Nexus.
Yeah, there's some feedbacks on the Vipers, which is nice. And he has a DT as well, but that is a dead Nexus, and he has lost the backbone of his forces. The Colossus are dead.
And now MC's in trouble. He's got no income, really. He's got that south base, but that's only been able to afford an assimilator and a pylon. Jaedong really increasing the heart rate of all his fans worldwide at this point, because if he'd lost this game, if he'd made a mistake, he would have been out.
Look at that army supply. I think that Jaedong's fans are starting to get wiggly and jiggly in their chairs, maybe flipping them up and down. They're going to be feeling pretty good right now, and looking like he's going to tie the series. Definitely on the cusp of tying the series, and keeping his round of 8 dream alive.
Yeah, Jaedong's going to move into this, and it is going to be a GG called out from MC.